hello, hello. Louis, I'm good. How are you? Saint, Patmos, how are you guys doing? Patmos, you just caught the tail end of it. Saint and Louis, you missed something really funny last night. So, as people sort of gather in, I'm going to put this team on screen. Saint, I'm good. I'm good. I'm also really good just in general because the team we decided to mess around with last night worked way better than I expected. Sadie, thank you for stopping by. So, this is the abomination we streamed with last night. No further questions, Your Honor. Uh, I had multiple games for Iron Thorns, got all the KOs, and it's really, really funny. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it, but it's really funny. So, Louis, at one of the locals about a month ago, Jean-Marc and I were discussing that Miraidon would be really good on Trick Room come GS Cup once you're allowed to use 2 restricteds. Like, Miraidon would be really good with Calyrex, because then you could Terra Fire to prevent burn, and then you have electric terrain to prevent sleep. So I had the idea of, what if, to completely disrespect the single restricted format, what if I wasted my restricted slot on a Trick Room support instead of actually using something that could like sweep? So I'm running a Choice Scarf Miraidon, which hits 280 speed, and which can outspeed most flutters as well. We are using it outspeeds almost the entire meta except for Regieleki and Iron Bundle. And the idea is that we can fast Volt Switch or fast Taunt to make sure that Farigiraf can set up safely. Taunt prevents like preventing Imprison, etc. And then we've got sort of like the Smeargle Farigiraf and then the 3 other sweepers. So this team has 4 Pokemon that are all 73 speed. The Farigiraf, Iron Hands, Iron Thorns, and Ursaluna are all speed crept to 73. Why 73, you'll ask? Smeargle is 72. So under Trick Room, Smeargle can outspeed all 4 of our Pokemon with Decorate, and ensure that we get a Decorate charged attack off. We had multiple times on stream yesterday where Iron Thorns just carried, because with the electric terrain boost plus loaded dice, that Rock Blast really hurts. Like, we were doing over 50% even to like resisted hits. And it was OHKOing most things that didn't resist it, that weren't like super, super bulky. So, settle up for the ride. We're gonna go see if we can have repeats of some of the really trolly games we faced last night. If anybody has a Prime sub that they wanna help support me, we have emotes now. 2 of them are still pending approval, but we've got Cheer Cadet, and we've got Heart Cadet, and we've got Rage Cadet, because we like Char Cadet around here. And there's a blue one and a green one coming soon too. The green one is like dazzly starry-eyed, and then the blue one is like cringing with like the lines over his forehead and like tears coming from his eyes. Char Cadet's such a cutie. So let's just go for it. Okay, good. I just clicked into my own stream and there was nothing on the screen, so I was like, oh, don't tell me it's not working. Okay. Alright, so we're just gonna give it a go, see what happens. I will say that even though sleep is a big problem for Trick Room teams, and is why we did the Miraidon thing to begin with, we didn't really face very many Amoonguss yesterday, but that's okay. And as always, for anybody interested you can always get the rental and the paste from the bot. You'll command paste, command rental. If you want to see the EVs, and if you want to play the team in game. I know Titan Nexus VGC already said he was going to feature the team. He hopped in, saw the Iron Thorns, and after I explained what it does, he's like, "Oh god, I have to play this." So alright, so we're against. Why? I guess I shouldn't be surprised that the person named Silverwing is using a stall team. But Enlighten, thank you so much for the follow. Really appreciate that. Good morning, Enlightened. Yeah, it's morning for you, but it's afternoon for most people. But I work nights, so it's morning for me too, even though it's 3 p.m. here. So the Lugia actually isn't as much of a problem as you'd think, because the way multi-scale works, the first hit from like Rock Blast would break it, and then the 4 more wouldn't be affected. So it's going to be kind of difficult setting up, but I think we're fine to just start with like Farigiraf Smeargle. I don't actually think we need the electric terrain here. I think we're just going to like Farigiraf Smeargle and like Ursaluna Iron Thorns. Because yeah, I got Decorated Bloodmoon would also take care of most of these. Yeah, we'll try this. The Bug Terror on the Iron Thorns also helps with Pin Missile Stab, in addition to covering the quad weakness and one of the major single weaknesses. The Bug Terror works perfectly for it. And like in closed team sheet, most people aren't going to be expecting a Terra like Bug, so they're not going to be throwing flying moves at Iron Thorns very often. Oh, that guy looks so cool. Okay, Landorus and Sableye. So Sableye won't be able to taunt Farigiraf because of Armor Tail. And I'm guessing Landorus is gonna have like maybe Landorus has taunt, but we're just gonna play it safe. We're in the Trick Room. We're gonna fake out the Landorus. I'm not really sure what Smeargle. Sableye might have screens, but yeah, there's Reflect. So we'll probably see the white screen next turn. Landorus flinched. We get our Trick Room up. So I'm not super concerned with the Sableye, so we're gonna throw a Psychic at the Landorus first after a Decorate. They might be expecting a Dazzling Gleam, so I might even switch into like a Poison type or something. Oh, Woshen. Oh, Dazzling Gleam would have been better. But that's okay. Because now we're still getting off another Decorate. The first light screen basically covers for the Decorate. We get our attack doubled, and light screen will have the damage. But the switch sort of wasted my opponent's turn for sure. And now the next Decorate, now the next Dazzling Gleam will basically be as if we're ignoring Decorate. We're also actually, I'm going to Terra Farigiraf so that we don't die to Foul Play. Because Foul Play uses our attack stat, and we are plus a lot. Now that might be the Poison type. Okay, there's Lugia. Okay, now we've seen the whole team. Lugia is going to be one of the bigger concerns, but Iron Thorns should be able to handle it. We're just going to have to play like the attrition game for now. We have to be careful of the Landorus as well. So we're going to see how much this Dazzling Gleam does to the Woshen. Lugia is going to do nothing, I'm sure. Multi-scale plus being, I believe it's 154 special defense. Wow, okay, not even half to Woshen. And Snarl, okay. Okay, so we're actually just gonna ditch for a draft right now. We're gonna switch in Iron Thorns and we're gonna decorate that slot. Because then after the decorate, after this decorate and then another decorate, Lugia should be toast. Or just about anything should be toast when we're +4. Okay, yeah, the Pollen Puff is annoying, but it doesn't super matter. Okay, yes, we were good to switch. Calm Mind was going to make sweeping that Lugia with a giraffe pretty much impossible. Okay, so I think the Lugia is actually the slightly more... we also have Dragon Tail. I forgot about Dragon Tail. We also have Dragon Tail to... Gert, thank you so much for stopping by! Yeah, Iron Thorns is really funny, but it works on this team pretty well. So they might know Iron Thorns learns Pin Missile, but I'm guessing they're more expecting a rock move. No worries, Louis. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you so much, my friend. Okay, so they are playing around the Pin Missile. But now we know that. Garrett, thank you for the follow. Steel Terra Lugia, this just became miserable. It's a really good thing we have Dragon Tail. Kathy, how you doing? Honestly, for being double resisted, that's not bad damage. Okay, so we're definitely gonna have to phase out that Lugia. I didn't expect to have to do any phasing with Dragon Tail. That's not really what it's for. Oh, we're probably gonna see a Stomping Tantrum from that Landorus. We might just be dead. Actually, no, Smeargle's follow me. We'll Dragon Tail and we'll follow me. Because Landorus will be faster. Okay, Lugia has Earth Power, so what's... Oh, can't really say I expected Lugia to have Earth Power, but okay. Probably don't live that. No. Alright, well, battle didn't go the way I hoped for two reasons. I really expected Lando to be faster than Lugia because they're usually scarfed. And Steel Terra Lugia was probably the worst thing it could have been. But I think we could all sort of agree that this isn't something people are building their teams around. Rough start to the stream, but Iron Thorns is still him. No, Gert, you missed some incredible Thorns moments. The first Woshen I saw yesterday, and yes, there was multiple Woshens yesterday. First one I saw, I'm like, watch me Pin Missile this thing. And I don't know if you know, like, Viv XK, but he was like, oh, I was like, that's not gonna happen, I'll clip it when if it does. And it literally, a 2-code with the Pin Missile. It only took 2 the hits to take it down. Quad weak to bug, let's go. Okay, so there's an Amoonguss. There's the entire reason for playing the team like this. We can do our thing. So because of the Raging Bolt, we're definitely gonna go for Ursaluna over Iron Thorn, so we don't get to be too memey, but everything else lines up the way we want. The Amoonguss is gonna do nothing to us. And the thing is, the way this team looks, some players have been playing around it like it's not Trick Room. It doesn't actually look necessarily like hard Trick Room. I was surprised to learn how fast Iron Thorns was, for example. It's actually only slightly slower than Armor Rouge. Like, its min speed is 69. Okay, so there's a Tornadus that can't taunt, and a Amoonguss that can't put us to sleep. So we're just going to go ahead and Volt Switch into the Tornadus. And... oh, Sadie. And we'll, yeah, we'll just Volt Switch and Trick Room. Now, they can still Rage Powder us, but it doesn't necessarily matter who we hit, and they didn't do that. Okay. If the Torn isn't Sash, it's already going down. I suppose they can put me to sleep using Terrapagos to clear the terrain, but that's gonna... they'll have to pick one Pokemon to put to sleep. And if they send out Terrapagos this turn, we're probably gonna fake out a Mungus with Iron Hands. Oh, this one for a Sludge Bomb, interesting. Oh no, we're poisoned. Actually, the poison's amazing. Wait, this is huge. Now they can't put us to sleep because Farigiraf's Grass Terra. Oh my god, accidental fumble. Okay, so it's Terrapagos. We want to get them to pop their terrain first, but we're not gonna... we're still gonna Terra... we're just gonna fake out Terrapagos, Terra Farigiraf, and Psychic Amoonguss, just so they can... they're probably gonna clear terrain thinking they can put Farigiraf to sleep. Because they know Farigiraf's not safety goggles because of the Electric Seed. Now, the last game could have been a funny one, but this one sort of demonstrates the original idea I had for the team. Our Terra happens first because of Trick Room. That makes sense. If the Terra after goes to Terraing, it'll do so after. If it doesn't Terra, then at least the Fake Out is popping Terra Shell. Yeah, there's the Terra. So I'm guessing this is Terrapagos Terraing. It's gonna get faked out. It might be Covert Cloak, but that's fine. If it's Covert Cloak, that means it's not Specs, and if it's not Specs, that means Iron Hands can survive the Terra Starstorm. Oh, and that's a very fast Amoonguss. Oh wait, Tailwind. Oh my god, that's so funny. Ah, my opponent screwed themselves with their own Tailwind. And now it doesn't really matter what the last Pokemon is. Because of the Chi-Yu, I'm guessing almost certainly it's a Specs Terrapagos. So we're gonna go for the close combat. And we're gonna switch in Miraidon just to be overkill and make sure that the close combat takes it down in case it's like high bulk. Extreme overkill. And they just went for the Snarl, which we don't care about at all. Thank you, Garrett. So we're gonna close combat. And we're gonna switch in Farigiraf. Actually, we're gonna close combat, and we're just gonna let Miraidon go down because that's an Assault Vest Bolt, which will go down to close combat plus whatever else I throw at it with the other move. Pokemon. Oh, or we just OHKO with Iron Hands. Topo, we are absolutely winning. The team just got to play exactly the way it was built in mind. So Topo, this team, it's You gotta get a look at this, man. Here's the paste. It's all over the place on paper, but it's so funny. So the initial idea for it was, myself and Jean-Marc VGC, who's like a local player of mine, one of the best players in Canada for sure. We were discussing how in GS Cup, Miraidon would be really good on Calyrex like Hard Trick Room, because you could set electric terrain to prevent sleep, and then like switch out with Volt Switch to bring in another sweeper. And I had the idea of, what if I decided to disrespect the single restricted format and use Miraidon as a support, and instead of using restricted sweeper. The restricted Pokemon on this team, for anybody who was in this last night's stream, they'll remember, it was Farigiraf. Farigiraf was sweeping left and right with Decorate. Miraidon is just a support. So we use Miraidon to set up electric terrain to prevent sleep against teams like this one. Farigiraf to set Trick Room. And then like the Iron Hands. And I think Chad, I think we can agree that this team, I think we want to bring the same stuff, but I'm also kind of considering Iron Thorns. Actually, no. We were able to handle the Raging Bolt fine without Ursaluna. I think we want to bring Iron Thorns this time. Because I'm kind of concerned about the Ledge. Yeah, basically, Miraidon's there to prevent sleep so that they can't turn off Trick Room Spore. Now I'm kind of guessing that the Raging Bolt is going to Electric Terra, is going to Fairy Terra. So we're just gonna Volt Switch into Tornadus, and we'll Trick Room. I don't think Raging Bolt can Oko for a Giraffe. So, and we might still see a Tailwind. Oh, Protect on Torn. That's fine. I really hope they Draco Meteor Miraidon, because like we don't need Miraidon for the rest of this game, so I'm fine with Miraidon going down now. Electro Web. That's so fine. That's incredibly fine. We're still gonna try and Volt Switch rather than hard switching, and we're gonna Dazzling Gleam for some chip damage onto the Raging Bolt. I don't know how much that speed drop actually matters though, just because their Pokemon are both slow already. Okay, this is Draco Meteor, that's fine. Now, when my opponent leads like this, it kind of is a 50-50, and we guessed wrong there. It is what it is. We take those. So, now we know Tornadus Protect. And because the Raging Bolt has Electro Web, I'm confident it doesn't. So I feel very safe going Rock Blast into that slot. Also, Keely, how are you doing today? I just didn't say hi. You just sort of popped up. This is me, and all sorts of great people are in my chat today. I'm so happy with these emotes. Oh my god. Yep, the very, very expected Protect from Torn. I don't know why we went for Hyper Voice instead of Gleam, but it's not a huge damage drop. Oh, that's so good. That's so great of you. Thank you. Okay, I think this KOs. Alright, chat, we did it. We gave another player nightmares about Iron Thorns. Their Raging Bolt just died to an Iron Thorns. We are officially the better Electric type Paradox. You saw it here, folks. Thorns Gaming. Oh, an Amoonguss that's not gonna be able to kill. That's not gonna be able to like kill me easy, or like it's not gonna be able to put me to sleep. And if Trapagos is in the back, it's kind of too late for it. We're getting so much done now, it doesn't even matter. Yep, there he goes. That's why. That's literally chat. That's why. That's the entire reason for the team. Was for that Spore. That's what we're here for. Okay, yeah, we can definitely maintain like position and control the board for the rest of this game. So I forget how many turns of Trick Room we have left though, and that really matters. Oh, for sure. Like I played around with Iron Thorns in previous formats just because as a Trick Room sweeper, because loaded dice sweepers tend to be good. But without like a good electric terrain Pokemon, it was kind of rough. Because I think we're actually going to send out Iron Hands here. And we're going to Psychic the Amoonguss, because they're almost certainly going to have to Terra Terapagos here. So I'm hoping if we can get the kill on Amoonguss and they Terra Terapagos, then we can go... Oh, I just realized. They're going to Spore something then. I'm not paying enough attention. I should have protected Iron Thorns and Terra'd and Spore and Terra'd and Psychic for a Giraffe. Hopefully they think Iron Thorns. Oh, they didn't Spore. They didn't Terra and they didn't Spore. No, that's fine. That's fine. We're so good. We're so good. They didn't realize what they had. I gave them the opportunity. I threw them the win on a silver platter. Okay, so that must be Specs. But luckily, even with Specs, since we haven't Terra'd, I don't think it can, like, Oko us. So we're gonna go Fake Out Rock Blast for that first free hit, assuming it Terra's this turn. Yeah. Judging by that damage, though, I think it's Specs. Because for draft, most of its investment is in special defense, and it's taken some nasty hits. It can after the Grass Terra, it can survive a Water Terra, Modest, Specs, Water Spout from Kyogre, which can usually Oko most resists. Okay, there's the Fake Out. That's a lot of damage, jeez. Multi-hit moves should go back to Gen 1 mechanics, where if it's going to be a crit, they all crit. Alright, well, we'll close combat, we'll Rock Blast, and we'll just have to hope one of them lives Terra Starstorm. Let's find out, boys and girls. They're bulky. They're bulky. Come on. Oh, they both live. No question. We just win. Gert, I told you, man. Iron Thorns. It just got 3 of the kills. You all saw it. Iron Thorns is carrying. Iron Thorns is putting in so much work. It is crazy. I'm gonna change the title of the stream. I set that last night when we were like absolutely plowing people with Iron Thorns, but it looks so dumb now. What do we got here? Well, we don't care about that Zamazenta whatsoever. Oh, it's basically like the Calyrex coaching teams, but with like Zamazenta instead. So it's like kind of scary, but like not actually scary, because Smeargle and Farigiraf can kind of do things. Except we kind of need Miraidon here. I think we'll go Iron Thorns. I don't think we can do. We kind of want Iron Hands, Iron Thorns. We want Iron Thorns specifically because of Pelipper. Now we're faster than the Wet Shifu, and they're probably not expecting that at all because it's Scarf and Miraidon's not usually Scarfed. But we really need to bring at least one other special attacker because of Zamazenta. So, well, I mean, I guess we have Miraidon for that. Chat, what do you think? Iron Hands or Ursaluna? Alright. Hands it is. Gert's the god, so if God is telling me hands, I'm not who I might argue. Catch these Brian hands. Okay, so we can probably take whatever that Raging Bolt's throwing at me. It's almost certainly a Assault Vest. So we're gonna just Terra. We're not gonna Terra. We're just gonna Trick Room and Volt Switch for now. Because I'm guessing Zamazenta is gonna protect, or it's gonna. Oh, this is Terra. Oh, they're just going right for the Terra. That's fine, because now we can Draco Meteor it later. And now we also know that nothing else can Terra. That was pretty... That was pretty fast to do on my opponent's part. So obviously we're not bringing in Iron Thorns into a potential body press. So we'll bring in the Iron Hands. Yeah, I saw that coming a mile away. We'd love to see that. So, if anybody's better than me at math, Psychic with Stab would probably do more than the Dazzling Gleam, right? Just to Raging Bolt, just because of how like spread moves fall off. Yeah, I figured. So we'll Psychic, we'll go Fake Out. We're probably gonna see an Iron Defense or Protect from Zamazenta. Yeah, there's no point to Dazzling Gleam there. And then we can also fish for the Spit F drop. Like I knew we weren't attacking the Zamazenta directly either way. Okay, now we will Hyper Voice and close combat the Raging Bolt. Because I think the Zamazenta is going to be more threatened by Farigiraf, so we're probably going to see an Iron Defense or a Body Prep. Okay. So, yeah, the thing with the Zamazenta is we can really ignore it for most of this game. We can just... Okay, never mind, we just lost Iron Hands. But now all we really need to do is survive my own Trick Room and get to the point where I can Draco Meteor it. And if they have Pelipper in the back, it's not going to like this Iron Thorns whatsoever. Honestly, Amoonguss is sort of the same thing. They're not going to like it. So the Zamazenta hasn't taken the free opportunity to Iron Defense yet, so we're just going to... But it's already Terra, so we're going to Psychic the Amoonguss. We're going to Terra... I think we're actually going to Pin Missile Zamazenta because they think they're probably pretty safe. And we really actually don't care about the Amoonguss. Pin Missile actually might take out Zamazenta because it's only +1 defense, and Iron Thorns in the electric terrain is like 290 something attack. And the Bug Terra also lets us ignore the body press that's going to come my way. Oh, Pollen Puff. That makes sense. But that's actually probably a good thing that we're chipping it then. Oh, clean. Oh, the best crit. My poor opponent. You saw it here first, folks. Iron Thorns is a better restricted than Xanath. That's so much! Oh my god! Can we kill? If one of these crits, I think we can kill. No, okay. But, oh my god. Yeah, it would have killed without the pollen buff. Oh my god. And then look how much that body press does. Oh my god, judging by that number, I don't even think it would have KO'd. Okay, how many turns of Trick Room left? Yeah, there's one turn left of Trick Room. So we're gonna Psychic or Shift. Wait, no, that's Dark Shifu. We're gonna Dazzling Gleam because it's probably Scarf still. Sash doesn't really do anything for it, and the Pelipper is probably sashed. So we can pretty safely switch in Miraidon here, especially because we can take one body press anyway, or we can take one attack from either of them, and one or both is going to protect. If this KOs the Urshifu, wow. Yep. And we just cleanly executed them with a Iron Thorns team. Gert, what do you think of the team? Also, that's so funny how the Zamazenta transforms back into like the base form at the end of the battle. That's an interesting little detail. Oh, I know, it's so much fun. So like, I've explained this a lot when I'm streaming, but I haven't had I have different audiences at different times, so I'll sort of like reiterate. My plan for streaming is I don't really like playing just like my best team on ladder all the time, trying to like smash people with like broken meta stuff. Not because it's like, oh, I don't like the meta, but because first of all, Worlds is coming up. So if I have like a really good idea, I'm not gonna be playing it on stream. I'm gonna be testing it on my alt on Showdown or with my friends for Worlds. Like I have really cool ideas in my head, but I also think it helps to keep my content a little more interesting, and it helps since I make my YouTube videos as well. My plan is to have like every week, I'm gonna have like a team of the week, and okay, I like this team, I respect it. So I'm gonna have like a team of the week. Last week I streamed like a Meteor Beam Necrozma team that was like really weird. I'll put it on the screen real quick for a second. I'll change my border back to it if I can find it. I think it was this one. Yeah, so I streamed this team. Like the Necrozma, Indeedee, Ursaluna, Enamorus, Annihilate, Gallade. And that was like last week's team. And so like that team is gonna get a video. I have like an intro ready. I just have to like pick out which games I'm using for the video. And basically, yeah, I'm gonna have like obviously anybody who knows me, I'm gonna be playing only Trick Room, but I'm gonna be doing like all sorts of different weird Trick Room things. But on the subject of Trick Room, I think we're not going to Trick Room this game. I think we're actually just going to go full... we're just going to go sort of full Nelson here. We're going to lead Iron Thorns, Iron Hands with Miraidon in the back and Smeargle in the back, depending on how they lead. A Wild Drummer has appeared. Thank you so much for stopping by. Smeargle does all sorts of different things. The main reason people play Smeargle is that it has an incredibly interesting niche in that it can learn every move in the game except for 4. The only moves Smeargle cannot learn are Revival Blessing, Dark Void, Hyperspace Hole, and Hyperspace Fury. Because three of those moves are exclusive to mythical Pokemon, and they cannot be used by the other Pokemon. And then, and then the other one, Revival Blessing, it never really had an explanation given. It just can't learn Revival Blessing for some reason. So part of me wants to switch in Miraidon here, but I also don't want it to catch a Moonblast. So we're gonna Terra Fire, and yeah, we're gonna Terra Fire, Wild Charge the Fluttermane, and we're gonna Rock Blast Lunala. Actually, no, we're not Dragon Tail Lunala. We're gonna pop its shield and make it go away. And if we drag out a Pokemon that's slower than us, we can really take advantage. Topo, if you're still in the chat, I just wanted to let you know that I would not have been running Dragon Tail without you suggesting like Roar and stuff in the past. It does the same kind of thing, but still does damage, so I love it a lot. Okay, there's a Meteor Beam coming. That's probably into Iron Thorns, or they predicted a Fire Terra. If they predicted the Fire Terra, I will cry. I also used it on Gyarados in the past, but like I consider it much more like a mandatory part of my rank ladder. No worries, Sadie. Thank you for stopping by. I'll talk to you later. I've never considered Dragon Tail on like rank ladder the way you play it until like the way you use Roar and Whirlwind until seeing your clips. Oh, that's so perfect. So now we're gonna Wild Charge with the Fluttermane, and we're gonna send in Miraidon. Because even if they have Torkoal as their last Pokemon, we can survive Torkoal with this. Miraidon and Iron Hands can both take a Torkoal attack, and Smeargle has Wide Guard. Sorry about that. Follow me on the DD is expected, it's whatever. Honestly, slightly surprised it didn't no-ko. Okay, so we're gonna Wild Charge at Fluttermane again. We're going to elect Volt Switch into the Indeedee. Indeedee's probably gonna follow me. Oh, just withdrawing, that's fine. So what's the last Pokemon? Is it Ursaluna? Okay, it's Lunala, so that's gonna hurt. Oh, see, that's why I don't always play in, like, when I'm trying to play around Follow Me, I don't always just, like, play into the Pokemon that I expect to hit, because then we get situations like this. So Lunala's already wasted its Meteor Beams, that's pretty great. And it can't hit Smeargle with Moongeist Beam. So we're gonna attack Fluttermane, expecting a switch, and we're gonna Follow Me. There's the Terra. It might have Moonblast though. So this is a single target expanding force. That's just gonna nuke Smeargle, that's fine. Now my opponent's still keeping whatever's in the back. So I'm guessing that it's something we outspeed for sure. So we don't outspeed Lunala, so we're gonna go for Miraidon. Okay, so we lose Psychic Terrain. That's kind of fine. Yeah, Lunala can't kill both Indeedee and Miraidon. So we're gonna Volt Switch into Indeedee. Hi, Titan. I'm sorry to hear that, Titan. I'm sure you're saying it as if it's a positive. I'd be so bored if I didn't have my wife for 2 weeks. I guess Lunala was trying to trick room because unless I'm not paying attention, I didn't see it attack. Yeah, okay, yeah, I figured. Like, so many boomers make that joke, right? Like, oh, yo, why would you want... Oh my god, Torkoal. Torkoal's last stand. Chat, should we go for maximum overkill? Somebody told me yes, absolutely. Okay. Maximum overkill. Gert, I know you're loving the Iron Thorn. Oh, they didn't even let me. Gert, I know you were loving all this. The Thorns... Titan came into the stream this morning and was like, is that an Iron Thorns? I must be still asleep. And everyone was like, no, the Thorns is carrying. Iron Thorns is doing all of the work. Oh crap, we're against Moxie while Moxie is streaming. Okay. Content creator versus content creator. I'm now far too nervous because it's Moxie, but I think we're fine because Moxie's not going to stream snipe, and they're not going to know what the hell I'm up to. I think we're also I'm pretty sure we're pretty well positioned into this mostly. There for draft is mildly concerning. I don't actually think we want to bring our Miraidon here. I think we're fine to just do Iron Hands, Iron Thorns, Smeargle, and Farigiraf. Okay. Alright, so... got a Reshiram and a Whimsicott. Whimsicott, I don't know if Whimsicott is Sash or if it is Cloak. I think we're going to... we're gonna Trick Room and fake out Whimsicott for now. Okay, so it is Cloak, but they went for Smeargles, that's fine. So we have Trick Room, and we have our setup. So we know Whimsicott is not Sash, and even if it was Sash, it wouldn't be... like, the Sash would be gone. I think we're just going to Hyper Place and Rock Blast Reshiram for now. Let's see if we see a Terra. Okay, just withdraw the Whimsicott, that's fine. Okay, this Rillaboom. We're fine with the Rillaboom, like we're completely fine with the Rillaboom. They're not gonna over Bug Terra. Okay, so there is a Terra. Is it Steel? Is it Dragon? Oh, it's Fairy. That's pretty much fine. Rock Blast plus Hyper Voice should take it out. Okay, maybe not, but we're gonna get some good chunk damage in. Like, we can't live a Draco Meteor, I don't think, unless it's Assault Test, but Terra Blast Fairy. Does that KO? I don't think so. Nah. So, I'm slightly more concerned about the Reshiram than the Rillaboom, and I don't think they're expecting Iron Thorns to be Bug Terra. Okay, we're gonna Psychic Reshiram. Even if it's Assault Fest, it probably can't take that. And we're gonna Pin Missile for max damage onto the Rillaboom. Okay, yeah, good thing we didn't care too much about the Reshiram. So Whimsicott should take a hard hit, and then... Whimsicott probably doesn't go down to the Psychic, but Rillaboom definitely goes down to the Pin Missile. Oh yeah. Okay, let's see what's next. There's Walking Wake. Okay, we're pretty clean to go like Dazzling Gleam, Rock Blast into Wake then. I'm not as scared of Whimsicott in general. And I'd rather be guaranteeing that the Walking Wake goes down. If either of these switch, that's fine. If Wake has Protect, it's not the end of the world. I really don't think Whimsicott can kill Iron Thorns. Okay, so there's a sunny day. I guess they were expecting me to focus the Whimsicott. So we're Dazzling Gleam. Don't take out Whims, just like I expected. Get the Rock Blast into Walking Wake. Does that kill? I think so. Oh yeah. Iron Thorns gaming, everybody. Guys, if I win, if anybody has a Prime sub kicking around, now you got to give it to me for winning the streamer fight. I beat Moxie Boosted because, like, how did you come back from this? There's no comeback. I would have to like miss Rock Blast or something. Oh no, not the Tailwind. Awesome. Yo. We won the streamer fight. Let's go. Let's go. Alright. I'm gonna go pop into his stream real quick and say GG's. 1 second. Okay, I can't actually chat in his stream just yet. So if any of you already follow Moxie, can you do me a favor and go to his chat and say Prog says GG? Otherwise, I'll say something later. But if any of you want to pop by his chat and just say Prog says GG, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, Gert. Alright, let's hop in for another one, because we were just cruising on the ladder today, apparently. We were just running unopposed. Alright, let's get back at it. What are we looking at? Shadow Rider, Iron Hands, a bunch of things we don't really care about. Are we Miraidon gaming? Do we need to Miraidon game here? No, I don't think so. What else have we been doing? No, this is Smeargle gaming. Iron Thorns, and I think we'll go for Ursaluna. Yeah? Yeah. Oh man, I always tell people that I like being blissfully unaware of who's a big name in the community, because it helps to avoid, when I go to a regional, sitting down across from somebody and being like, oh, now I'm scared because I'm facing this person. But Moxie is one of the few VGC names I knew before getting into VGC, along with Cybertron and Wolfie. So as soon as I saw I was against Moxie, and somebody so well known for like being relatively calculated and stuff, I was like, oh no. I was so scared. Okay, so I'm expecting like a knockoff and maybe a grass attack. I have a story actually about in terms of like not knowing names. Gert, just give me a sec. So Gert, I know we don't like talk super often. I don't know how up to date you are like with like my individual results and such, but you know how I won that MSS in Vancouver at the regional? Did you know about that? Okay, so I was scared as hell to face Brian Collins as my opponent because he's Brian Collins and he's like the Trick Room God. But okay, we have a double fake out and my opponent doesn't know what Armor Tail does. Okay. Guys, did I accidentally make like one of the best ladder teams ever? Because this has been better than like my Necrozma team. This has been better than like my Calyrex teams. Like, what is going on with this? So, my 7th round opponent in Swiss at that tournament, Gert, was Aaron Brock, actually. And I did not know who Aaron Brock was. So, like, I beat him. I didn't think anything of it. It wasn't even a very close game. I kind of dumped all over him. Taunting the Smeargle, that's fine. The job's done, Incineroar. The job is done. We don't care about the U-turn either. So I beat Aaron Brock because I was playing Psy Spam, and he didn't have... Well, he only had one Protect on the team. And the turn I attacked into that, the fact that he didn't have any Protects, I guess he played around me playing around the Protect. Because what happened is, he expected me to not attack it because of Protect, and what ended up happening instead was... Also, we should just Psychic that Iron Hands, right? Nah, just in case of Terrace, let's Dazzling Gleam. And we'll switch to Iron Thorns. Nah. We'll be safer. We're gonna Dazzling Gleam, switch to Thorns. And so I beat Aaron Brock because he only had one Protect. It was on Ogrepon, and I clicked Meteor Beam into it because I was like, okay, even if he protects, I get my boost, right? And he just went for the Cudgel, so he didn't get to attack. Meteor Beam KOs it, and the rest of the game was easy because he had no Protect. Plus, his Amoonguss wasn't Water Terra, which is one of the only ways that these teams like reasonably handle me, is like Water Terra Amoonguss so that they don't die to Eruption from Torkoal. So I cleanly beat him in like 3 turns. I thought little of it, and then, okay, that's a fast Iron Hands. That just outspeeds me. Good to know. Depending on what Incineroar does, we don't really care about it. Knockoff is mildly annoying. Okay, so we're still gonna have to attack the Iron Hands, but we're just gonna like Pin Missile into it. And now we know that we don't outspeed it with any of our stuff. It's probably min speed or it's like 70 speed. So, well, before Top Cut, one of my friends was asking me, like, oh, you know, who'd you face in like your Swiss rounds? And when I sort of casually said, like, oh, I looked it up, and then round 7, I was like, oh, I don't know, I have to look up his name. And when I said I beat Aaron Brock, I was just like, oh, I beat this guy. But he was like, oh my god, you beat Aaron Brock? I didn't know who he was, so I was like, oh yeah, I guess so. Okay, now we just gotta get lucky since we don't have loaded dice. Come on. Ah, that's a shame. Okay, so we're gonna switch to Ursaluna and protect Iron Thorns, because I'm sure they don't care about the Smeargle right now. I've had a decent reputation for beating good players, because my first Premier Challenge I ever went to, I was like one of, if not the only person in the room who had never been to Worlds. There was players like Matt Tidd, Jean-Marc Hibert, Ali Paseo, something, some Italian name, I don't know his name. I beat like all these like top players, and I won that PC. My first regional I went to, I faced and beat Yodom Cohen. I faced all sorts of like people that are scary. Okay, so now we outspeed the Iron Hands now. We can play around the Rilla with our protects. The Shadow Rider is going to be kind of a concern, but we have Wide Guard. So we're going to Hyper Voice. And we're going to Pin Missile this slot in case of a switch. The Iron Hands being really slow is kind of throwing us off. I don't think this game is going to be super easy, but I think we just won like, what, 7, 8 in a row. We can afford a loss. I think the stream could be kind of boring if we won every single one. Detect on the Iron Hands? Sure. Oh, Will-O-Wisp and Taunt? Homie's cooking. And we just missed. That's fine. Actually, that could be better. That could be better. Yeah. Because now we can Hyper Voice again and switch to get a pretty free switch to Smeargle. I don't actually think we're gonna win this now, but we're gonna do our best. It depends on the Calyrex. If Calyrex is the last Pokemon and we can isolate it, I think we can win by locking it aside. Because it won't be able to Astral Barrage to take out Ursaluna. But then again, they might not have brought Shadow Rider looking at this team. Okay. Oh, I forgot we reloaded the reload. That's important. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So we're gonna Hyper Voice, and we're gonna attempt to fake out Rilla. Because Shadow Rider is definitely not gonna... It's not gonna Astral Barrage, and if Rilla fakes outs, it's not the end of the world, because I think we can take one Draining Kiss. Normal types are really good this reg, just because of Shadow Rider, I think. Okay, so fake out into my Ursa makes sense, so we're probably gonna see the Draining Kiss. Into Ursa, yeah. So since we can take out the Draining Kiss and Rillaboom is likely to use Grassy Glide, we should be able to like follow me, Hyper Voice, maybe take out the Rilla. If Rilla goes for the Grassy Glide, then we're fine, maybe. Nope, it's going for Woodhammer. And then I think we lose. My opponent's smart. Oh well. Yep, that's the end of this one. Honestly, I think maybe... I don't even know if that's true. Because close combat on Iron Hands on a team like this also doesn't seem suitable. Like, there's a lot of questions I have, and just because they think of like one correct play doesn't mean they'll think of them all. My biggest mistake was blowing my Terra really early, but realistically I didn't expect them to not attack, right? So that's okay. Team's still good. We're still having fun. We're gonna keep going at it. I know Mapu. I've faced them in some Limitless tours before. I think they follow my YouTube as well. That being said, this is the most all eggs in one basket team I've ever seen, and I think we're fine to just sort of go hog wild against them. Like, this team is really all about that Shadow Rider. So if we can get like Iron Thorns into position, that's all we need. I think we're gonna go Smeargle just for the follow me. Their team is all eggs in one basket, so I think we have to do the same. But we have some advantages here, is for sure. Okay, so there's a Smeargle that might have Spore or like Wide Guard or Follow Me. People, first-time chatters sending links are going to be immediately banned from my chat. Sorry, that's just how it is. Before you could technically say it wasn't against the rules. There was no rules. Now there's rules. So we don't really care about anything they're throwing at me. We're just going to Trick Room. And do we want a Terra? Nah, we're just going to Volt Switch and weaken the Calyrex. Now, without a boost, I think we can take one attack from the Calyrex, and we can sort of get rid of that Clefairy, if they follow me. If they don't follow me, then we get rid of the Calyrex. Holy heck, never mind. Okay. Do we expect Astral Barrage, or do we expect something else? That's okay. They're definitely putting their eggs in one basket like I hoped, so we're just gonna have to roll with it for now. I'm assuming Clefairy's attacking, and Clefairy is going to follow me, or... okay. Fairy Terra. Okay, so now we hit it with Hyper Voice. That's really important. That's really, really important. Okay, so much for Heal Pulse. They have no idea. They have no idea. Does the Rock Blast KO? It's pretty squishy. Maybe? No. It comes pretty close, though. And they went for Training Kiss. Okay, so it has Heal Pulse, so it might not have after you. So we're gonna Psychic it this time, and then Psychic plus Rock Blast, if they don't follow me or after you, should take it out. If they follow me into the Clefairy, I think that's fine too, because the Clefairy still goes down. And we still have like two other turns of Trick Room to get. Yeah, that's fine. Because now it's not going to be getting as much healing off Draining Kiss either. Wow. That crit would have been so... That crit RNG would have been better last turn. That's fine. So, do they Draining Kiss the Iron Thorns to guarantee that they get a kill? Or do they go for the Astral Barrage? Do they go for Draining Kiss into Farigiraf to get more HP? All sorts of things they could do. That's the play. That's what we wanted. Okay. Alright, so I think now we're gonna save our Terra for Miraidon, and hopefully we can keep Calyrex low-ish. Calyrex might have Protect, so actually we're gonna play around Protect this time, because it's either gonna be Follow Me or Protect. Never mind, it was neither, but that's fine. We want to isolate Calyrex. We want to keep it isolated. We want to keep it weak, because my Miraidon's gonna outspeed it, and we should be able to KO it with Electro Drift. Especially with my Smeargle like supporting it. Okay, taking out the Farigiraf is really nice. Yeah, I don't really care about Calyrex's HP at this point. If it has Protect, it's probably going to use it this turn, and we're still going to go after the partner just in case. It's Urshifu. Actually, maybe we won't go out to the partner because... Well, +2 Rock Blast on the terrain. Sadie, it's going good. You missed me. I faced Moxie boosted, and we won. It was great. Chat, what do you think? Calyrex or Urshifu? They're both like the right answer, and they're both the wrong answer. Calyrex. If they both just protect, it doesn't matter. Oh my god! Okay, guys, we guessed right. We got the 50-50. We did it. Now we just gotta not miss. We did it. This team is cracked. Gert, how much are you loving this? You came to see some Iron Thorns porn, and you've been getting Iron Thorns porn. Fighting resists. Yeah, okay, I thought so. So let's Rock Blast. And we have Miraidon on the back. They have no hope of winning. Like, that KO is for sure. We don't care, though. We might even KO with this Rock Blast just because it's +2. This was such a dumb idea. I did not expect it to go. I did not expect this team to go this hard. Oh my god. I literally I put it up to a poll in my server, and I had no particular direction in mind just yet. I was like, okay, are we doing Dialga Origin this week, or are we doing Miraidon this week? It was a tie, so I DM'd one of my friends who I know didn't bother voting. I was like, just pick one, and she said do this, so we did this. And it is so funny. Okay, cool, they're letting me play it out. I always appreciate opponents that are good sports. I quit when, like, I only quit if it's going to take them multiple turns to win, and I can't win. If it's the last turn, I let them... Mafu! Yeah, how you doing, man? I was really happy to see your name. How have you been? I'm having a great stream today because I faced two players that I recognize their name and I know are good players. Before fighting you, two games ago, we also faced Moxie boosted in one. I'm having a great day because this team has been really funny. Thank you so much, Mafu, for the follow. I really appreciate it. We only just started streaming, and I've been having so much fun with it so far. This is only like my second week of it, and no, that's okay. I'm brand new to it. So like, Matthew, you know me. You know I like my Trick Room stuff. So my whole spiel for streaming is every week I plan to have like a dedicated team for the week, and I'm gonna stream that team for that week, and it's gonna be some sort of bananas Trick Room idea, and then the next week we'll go back to the drawing board. This week I decided to do Miraidon as a way to disrespect the format. Basically, like, everyone else is sweeping their restricteds. My restricteds are often just pivoting and clicking taunt. The decorate was the decorate Smeargle is really funny because everything except Miraidon on this team has one speed point higher than Smeargle, so it can always outspeed a decorate under Trick Room. Anyway, we've seen 1,000 of these teams. We don't care about this at all. Oh yeah, it's so much fun. So we got Miraidon, we got Farigiraf, we got... I think we can just do the old classic stuff. Yeah, last week we streamed Meteor Beam Necrozma. and it was like it was Psy Spam, but it wasn't like traditional Psy Spam. We didn't have like Hatterene, we didn't have Armor Rouge. We had like Enamorous and Annihilate. Suicune was pretty cool. I could see myself trying Suicune sometime. Right now, most of my stream, because restricteds are like the hot new ticket, I'm focusing on restricteds for my ideas. But I could definitely play around with other things too. So, based on what I've seen of this format, that's going to be a Sash, Whimsicott, and Specs Miraidon that can't necessarily take out for a draft unless it goes for Draco Meteor. So we're going to Trick Room, and we're going to Electro Drift. No, sorry, we're going to Volt Switch into the Whimsicott to pop the Stash. And also, because I assume... So there's the Electric Terra. So it's either to dodge Draco Meteor, or it's to just get more damage. Mist is really cool. Mist is basically like Safeguard, but for like stat drops, right? It's the one that like for 5 turns prevents stat drops. Because that is really cool. I've seen people do like Mist Wheezing in the past too. I played Safeguard on Bronzong before too. I like when people find uses for like the obtuse support moves. Okay, so this is the Tailwind. I'm pretty sure we can take anything for a draft that this Miraidon throws us. If they're Dracoing mine, yeah, that's fine. We don't care. No, I really like that. That's really cool. Alright, Gert knows what's going to happen now. And like, Mafu, like, that's what I love about VGC. You can have as many top players as you want, dogging on people who don't play the meta. But I will argue to the death that just because something's not meta doesn't mean it's bad. Like, I don't know if you know Torian Sticky, but he was tweeting about how people keep telling him not to play Trick Room, and I tweeted about something similar last week. So many people who think they're better than me go on and on about how they're doing me a favor trying to convince me to not play Trick Room. I don't care what people think of Trick Room. I don't care what other people will say, because for me it's just so much fun, and I love innovating, and I love playing something that I know I can play at my best. Yo, that's so funny. We got it into position to KO with the next Hyper Voice. And I used to play Magic the Gathering as well, and when I played Magic, I played Blue-White Control, for anybody who knows that stuff. I played Blue-White Control even when it wasn't a good meta deck. When I started playing Modern, it was a D tier deck, and by the time I quit, it was like S+ tier 1 unbeatable. I didn't pick it up because it was unbeatable, I played it the whole time. And it was really funny, because even at my locals, some people were like, oh, you're just playing Blue-White like everybody else. I'll be like, Steve, you know me. You know I played Blue-White for like 10 years. So why are you saying that? I like playing archetypes that are competitive enough that people respect them, but have like the room to pilot better than people are expecting, to be innovated better than people are expecting, and to like get your surprise wins that way. I've had a lot of talks with like other good Trick Room players, like Brian Collins, and like Chef EGC followed me and got in my DMs after my sets against Brian. And we agreed that like Trick Room, like people who disrespect it don't get it. And even players like Wolf Glick have said that like I haven't been able to find it, but I know he said it, and other people I talked to remember the same quote. Wolf once said in one of his videos or an interview or something, that he thinks even Trick Room in theory could be one of the strongest archetypes. But it's so hard to pilot at like a long day at a regional because it's such a brain drain thing. Mafu, thank you so much for the sub. Enjoy the emotes. We have Charkada emotes in the chat. There's 2 more that need to be approved, but there'll be 5 total. Also, kind of just dunking on this guy. Like, I like Trick Room because... Mafu, I got affiliate in my first week. My YouTube like really helped grow my Twitch streams almost immediately. And Titan Nexus here was responsible for a huge raid in only like my third or fourth stream. I started streaming like Wednesday or Thursday afternoon. I was just like, oh, it's like, oh yeah, let's do a stream today. And Titan's like, oh Ruby, I have a surprise for you. And like 5 minutes later, I had a 102-person raid from Jody, and I was like, oh my god. Ah yes, Iron Thorns. Plant a Banana, thank you for the follow. Yeah, we're just disrespecting the Reg G format. Iron Thorns is my restricted. Why use a real restricted when I can use Miraidon as a taunt machine? Titan, that's so awesome. I love that you like my teams enough to make videos. The first time that you DM'd me saying like, oh I made a video for your like Armor Rouge team. I was so happy, and I'm glad that I made a good friend out of that too. You've been also like, such a great supporter of me. I really appreciate it, Titan. Like this is obviously this would fall apart in open team sheet, but like this is so funny for the ladder. Oh cool, we don't have to trick room this game. We can just go straight at them with Iron Thorns. We can just go right ahead. I don't think Topo, I can see where you're coming from, but I think it depends on like how you stream and like what your goal for it is. For me, I've had so much more fun streaming than playing a ladder alone, and like there'll be days where I want to play ladder to practice my best of one, because I think we can all agree from the global challenges, best of one is a skill. Being able to predict cheese and play around cheese is definitely a skill. So I like laddering to get better at it, but streaming it makes it so much more fun, and the fact that I already have like active chatters in my streams is fantastic, because if you're streaming alone and there's nobody watching, yeah, I can see that getting exhausting. I tried to stream like Nuzlocke years ago, and I had like one consistent follower who watched all my streams named Pablo, and so I always named at least one Pokemon Pablo. But I can see it being exhausting if you don't feel like you're getting what you want out of it. I've really enjoyed having like an active chat, playing these fun teams, getting people talking. And like the fact that I got like all my affiliate stuff in a week is crazy. All my streaming friends have been like all of my friends who stream are like, yo, how the hell did you do that in a week? And I said, I don't know, people like me. And given that like my YouTube suffered a lot actually when I came out as trans. I lost a lot of followers, and like I remember like my subs dipped by 20 in like a day when I announced on there that I was trans. But then, like, all my friends convinced me that it wouldn't matter and that the community would sort of, like, bounce back, and so the ones who cared would support me still, and I wouldn't want to have those people anyway. So that's been proving to be true, and it makes me really, really happy. Okay, so we're probably going to see a Glacial Lance or a High Horsepower. Hi, Kathy. I didn't realize you're still here. Thank you for all the love and support, especially from you. I think Glacial Lance is slightly more likely because of Miraidon, but at the same time, I don't want to get nicked on by a High Horsepower or a Stomping Tantrum or like an Ivy Cudgel, or sorry, not Ivy Cudgel, Power Whip. Now, they might Ivy Cudgel into Iron Thorns, but that doesn't feel super likely. I'm glad, Cappy. And it's an example of when I talk about like meeting friends in the community, like, you know, you're one of the best examples. You know, you ended up in my timeline one day on Twitter and you're talking about Pokemon, and I'm like, oh, what kind of Pokemon? I tend to be much more aware of like women, and especially like other queer women who are interested in like VGC and stuff, or Pokemon in general, because it's fun to like it's fun to help get more girls into the community as well, when like there's so many like I saw tweets about all the regionals. It's like, oh, you know, ladies, we need more, not a single male, there's not a single female across all of the like regional cuts, the regional championships of like TCG, Go, etc. You know, we need more girls winning, and it's so fun. building my little community. Yeah, it's whatever. My opponent's already... We've already now seen ranked ladder cheese from my opponent. We can take a Glacial Lance thanks to the defense boost. So... I think we're just gonna Psychic the Calyrex and Pin Missile Ogerpon. Oh, we just died of that a bit. Okay. Between the Rock Blast Miss and Ground Terra Calyrex, this was our first, like, weird bad game of the stream. But I can't complain, it's been a really, really good stream otherwise. Yeah, we can't win this. Actually, it just occurred to me, yeah, like, this guy was so prepared for Miraidon. Yeah, for real. This person has, like, Miraidon PTSD. And that's the only downside of this team, is because Miraidon is, like, not the main thing, but it's, like, memed on this team. People are seeing the Miraidon and being, like, overly cautious. We also don't really have anything for ground types on this team except just hitting them really hard, because there's not a whole lot of mono ground. Actually, we're going to keep that music on because that battle was short. So this is some sort of like tail room team. I think overall, that bundle is scary. The bundle makes me concerned to bring Miraidon. I think this is the play here. Yeah. We don't really care about the Ursaluna because we're not bringing Miraidon. We have Iron Thorns with like Bug Terra to deal with it. We have Smeargle with like Follow Me and Wide Guard. Ursaluna is really good at this format though, and I'm really happy it's been making like a comeback. Bloodmoon is obviously good too, but like standard Ursaluna has been really good this format, and I've been testing it on a lot of different teams, and I've been using it outside as 5-spam for the first time since like Reg D. Mafu, you're not having a good day, are you? Just matching up into all the known names. I mean, at least he didn't face Moxie. Like, my heart sank when I faced Moxie, because, like, he's one of the only names who I know, like, that I know the name and I know he's really good. Okay, this team looks cheesy as is, so I'm going to guess that there is almost certainly a taunt. So we are going to follow me, and if there's not a taunt, then we are going to go hog wild with Decorate on the next turn. Is there a taunt? Oh, let's go. And there's a freeze dry. I don't think we're going to see like a Hydro Pump into that slot, so I think Iron Thorns is a safer switch in the hands because of like Dazzling Gleam or Moonblast. Also, one or both of them might just protect. When I used to play Magic the Gathering, I did a lot of my most competitive stuff on Magic Online. Like, I got into the equivalent of like Magic Online, like Worlds, most years. And I remember facing a big streamer one time while he was streaming, named Jeff Hookland. Also, nice encore, idiot. And yeah, Moonblast was a smart thing to play around. So I faced Jeff Hooglin while he's playing a deck that was like really bad for me. But what ended up happening was I had stuff built into my my plan for the deck he was playing, and even though I should have won and like disgraced him, he's also a really toxic player. He's the kind of person that you want to beat while he's streaming because he's toxic and it's fun. It's like, oh yeah, I beat Jeff Hooglin and now he's gonna have a meltdown on stream. He complains about everything that's not meta, and he thinks like you're cheating against him on purpose, all that kind of weird, funny stuff. So okay, now you're expecting the Rock Blast or a Rock Attack. That's okay, because now we have the Terra. And he beat me, but it was really funny because the first game, I was like, extremely well positioned and I crushed him, and then just game 2 and 3, I didn't draw like the resources I needed to win. But I went into a stream after, and he was boasting about beating like, oh, this stupid troll Wrath of God deck for like 30 minutes. Big Bird, how you doing? We are trolling people with Iron Thorns and Miraidon. People are looking at this team and they're thinking it's a real Miraidon team, and it's actually Iron Thorns to carry. Okay, so that Ursa is probably gonna outspeed unless it's like a Turbo Bear. We're gonna Psychic it, and we're gonna Terra Pin Missile the NDD. If we take out the NDD this turn, if one of my Pokemon goes down, we're actually in a better spot because then we can get a free Follow Me again. I just don't know how fast the Ursaluna is gonna be. It's definitely not facading the Iron Thorns slot, so it's either going to facade for Farigiraf or like Headlong Rush Iron Thorns or Earthquake. Maybe Brick Break Iron Thorns, because I've been seeing some Ursalunas with Brick Break, which I highly recommend. To all you in chat, if you're using regular Ursaluna on your team, go for Brick Break. There's the Facade. We don't live that, but that's fine. Pin Missile should rip this NDD apart. I mean, I've been facing mostly pretty meta stuff, so like the data is not terrible. How many turns of Trick Room are left? That's what matters the most right now. One. So the Flutter might have Protect, but if it has Taunt, it also might not. I think we're just gonna have to go for Rock Blast into the Flutter and see what happens. If Flutter doesn't have Protect or doesn't use it, we're fine. They might not be worried about Follow Me because of, say, Earthquake. Okay, no, they did Protect, that's fine. Okay, that's Drain Punch. Interesting. Okay, so what it comes down to now is if Iron Hands can survive this Moonblast from Flutter. Because we outspeed the Ursa with both of our Pokemon. The Flutter is not Specs, and is not Booster. Iron Hands is max HP rather than max special defense, because that's how you typically build these hyper aggro hands. There's no Terra from my opponent, and that's fine, because if they Terra Ghost, for example, this turn, we can Wild Charge next turn or Rock Blast next turn, depending on what lives. The only way they can beat me is if they sort of read what I want to do and, like, take out Thorns, and then... Like, if they Moonblast Thorns... actually... I'm going to make a read. I might be wrong, but I'm going to make a read. I think they're going to Moonblast Iron Thorns and hope to take it out, and then, like... yeah. Okay, there's a Terra. Is a Terra Ghost? It is probably Terra Ghost. Oh, it's Terra Grass. We should still kill it then. Big Bird, the problem with the concept of an extra Calyrex is getting a Calyrex is miserable. It requires so much gameplay. Okay, so... okay, so they facaded into Ursa. That's facaded into Iron Thorns. So... I guess the only remaining... So, since Iron Hands could take that, let's see like the special defense differences. So Iron Hands has 252 HP and no special defense. Iron Thorns has about the same HP, way more special defense. I'm gonna double into the Ursa, and I think Iron Thorns can take one Moonblast. So if they Moonblast Iron Thorns, or just protect. Alright, we lose. Icy Wind. Dang. Dang. We got. Okay, so... There's still potential. If we're able to live the Moonblast like we hope, we can still win. But if I should have actually been smarter. I should have attacked the Flutters there because Ursa. I should have played around the Protect from Ursa, knowing I could get it with burn damage. It all comes down with whether you can take that Moonblast. Now, Iron Hands took about 220 when it was super effective and more specially weak. So my guesstimate is that Iron Thorns would take somewhere in the ballpark of 80 to 100, and we're right in the middle of that at 88. So we have to hope for the low roll, and we just gotta believe. And also not miss Rock Blast, of course. Let's find out. Nope. Okay, there it is. We almost got there. But that was a really weird one. Oh wow, I just accidentally looked at my view count, and it's the highest it's been except for the view count right now is the highest it's been except for the time Jody rated. Thank you all for watching, I appreciate it. I was originally going to stream this for a couple hours, but I might honestly extend it a little bit because the team is kind of cracked and I'm having so much fun. I need to do some sort of like work stuff today. I'm not working like doing my normal work, but I'm still like doing other stuff for some income. But like this is so much fun. I don't think we super care about the Grimmsnarl. I think we can just like do our thing. Yeah, Ivy Cudgel on the Ivy Cudgel is like slightly concerning. Yeah, this seems just like a play the game as I intended kind of team. Alright, so we got a Torn and a Lunala. So we're not really concerned about anything my opponent's doing. So we're just gonna Trick Room and Decorate, I guess. Actually, no. We want to ensure that Smeargle can decorate next turn, and yeah. So we're gonna Trick Room and we're gonna Wide Guard. So that way they can't kill Smeargle, and then we can start like going ham with Decorate. There's a Bleak Wind, and I get we're gonna see either a Trick Room or a Moongeist Beam. Not Moongeist Beam, sorry, Meteor Beam. And so the thing with Lunala, and oh, it went for Dazzling Gleam. That's even better. So now we know one of its moves is Dazzling Gleam instead of like standard stuff. The thing with Lunala that's so great is, or not great, sorry. The thing with Necrozma and Lunala that I have an issue with, as much as I like the Meteor Beam, Moongeist Beam combo, is how awkward its attacks are. I'm going to see what its other moves are like Moongeist Beam and Meteor Beam and either Wide Guard or Trick Room. And the thing with that is, it's very easy to force my opponent into positions where they can't do anything to me now. Good job, Mafu. Calm Mind, Lunala, we don't care about that at all. Okay, so I'm gonna Dazzling Gleam and switch to Iron Thorns because we want to preserve Smeargle and we're gonna need to start knocking out that Lunala. We haven't given them any reason to Wide Guards, so I'm pretty sure that the Dazzling Gleam should take out the Torn. And my opponent tried to taunt, which they do not realize doesn't work. We get the Gleam, it does a pittance to Lunala because of the Calm Mind and Shadow Shield, but that's fine, because we're going to rip it apart with Iron and Thorns. I used to do that all the time, Mafu, but now like I have like limited time to be doing my laddering. I always like I throw a team together on Showdown and test it a little bit, and that's like, that's good enough. My serious teams obviously follow a much stronger process. Like the team I played in Vancouver, I don't know if you follow my videos much these days, but like the team I played in Vancouver, for example, was the result of like a lot of testing. Like the team evolved entirely over the course of Reg F into like many different versions. Okay, so we're gonna Dazzling Gleam for some chip damage on Lunala, and actually we're gonna Psychic, and we're gonna Pin Missile. I care more about the Rilla than Lunala for sure. I'm guessing they're not tearing the Rilla Fire. Yeah. That's annoying. That's fine. 2 Calm Minds though, that's kind of sketch. How much is it doing? If it's going Moongeist Beam, we're kind of in a spot. If it's going for Dazzling Gleam, I think they can both take it fine. Okay, yeah, Dazzling Gleam's fine. Yeah, Fairy Terror is pretty common on Lunala, because unlike Necrozma, Lunala actually gets fairy moves, so it covers one of your biggest weaknesses while also giving you a good stab. Okay, so we're gonna Hyper Voice. And since Lunala is Terra'd, we can fake it out later, but we're still slightly less concerned about the Rilla. We're gonna Terra Iron Thorns, because we're probably gonna see an attack from Rilla into the Iron Thorns. That's fine too, we don't care about the Rilla, we're just trying to stall it out. What's the last Pokemon? Imagine if we went Rock Blast into that slot, oh my god. It tends to be a combination of factors, Big Bird. So, primarily Terras are defensive, so you'll Terra into a type that like blocks one of your weaknesses, or just gives you a generally good defensive type instead of being weak to something. That Rock Blast did way less than expected. What the heck? We're not like minus attack or anything. That's a bulky Lunala. Probably dying to Gleam now. That's rough. I think we're at a Trick Room now too. I think we lost that to the setup Lunala, which, yep, that's some ladder things. So yeah, Terra is usually defensive. So like Lunala is double weak to Dark, right? So it takes 4 times effective damage from Dark. And Fairy is resistant to Dark, so you turn a move that would almost guaranteed kill you into something you resist. Terras also tend to be used for synergy between like they also tend to be used for synergy in how they. Sorry, I'm just trying. I'm brain farting right now. They tend to be used for synergy in how they like your offensive types, right? So Lunala's Fairy type Terra also plays really well with the fact that it gets like Moonblast and Dazzling Gleam. Our only hope is if this Oko's, if we can Oko Lunala here. Thank you, King Petty, for the follow. It had Protect? Alright, well. Lunala with Protect, Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam, and what I presume is Moongeist Beam. Can't really be prepared for that. That is A-okay though. Nah. I always say I let them have it. I think Lunala is really good. Lunala is on my short list of things that I would be running in Restricted right now. So Pokemon that Terra the same type are typically Pokemon that can't benefit the most from a defensive Terra and either need the damage output or like you want the overkill. So like Torkoal with Fire Terra, Miraidon with Electric Terra, Fairy Terra Flutter, which also serves as a defensive Terra. Ghost Terra Calyrex, Grass Terra Rilla. These types of things are meant for like when you want to push out your damage to like obscene numbers. Like Choice Specs, Fire Terra, Eruption, Torkoal in the sun, not a whole lot of things can survive that, even with resisted. Yeah, Lunala, a lot of the restricteds that have like support roles as well, so like Lunala, Palkia, people thought that about Zamazenta. They're gonna tend to be in better in double restricted, but I think Lunala still has its place because Meteor Beam strats are really good. All right, well we've been really good into these teams so far, so we're at, like we don't even have to think about what we're doing. Like we've been crushing these balance Terrapagos teams. Okay, so I'm mildly concerned about the Flutter. I feel like leading that Flutter screams Taunt or Imprison. However, we probably can't outspeed it now. So I think we're just gonna vibe and go for Volt Switch into Terapagos to break Terra Shell if it's not Terraing. Yeah, there's a taunt, we couldn't outspeed it. Taunt Flutter is Taunt Flutter. If they didn't lead Flutter, we wouldn't have been playing around like Taunt, but it's just like, oh, cool. I mean, like, we couldn't play around it anyway, really. So we're just gonna have to hope that if Terapagos Terras, we can take a Terra Starstorm. We probably can't, but we gotta clear that thing, like, now. So we're gonna Terra Fire, we're gonna close combat. Because... yeah, it's pretty much a necessity. Okay, so there's the Terra. Well, ranked ladder, everybody. And Oreos, thank you for the follow. Can we recover? Terapagos has fixed IVs. It's like 31 everything except attack always. Yeah, I don't think we get out of this. We're still taunted, right? Yeah. I'm not gonna waste the time. Worlds is mid-August. August 16th to 18th. Okay, so I'm gonna stream until about 5:30-ish, then I do actually have to go as much as I love to like, keep streaming this. If after I go and do my other work, And after I do a bunch of editing and content stuff tonight, if I have time and I want to stream this at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. like I do sometimes, I will probably do so because, oh my god, this team is so fun. I cannot remember. Oh, not another Lugia. Not another Lugia. I have PTSD from the first one. I've been like soft prepping in the sense that like I'll occasionally find a team that seems fun. I'll throw it at the best of 3 ladder on like my Worlds alt. And then like if I like it, I'll discuss it with some friends. I have a team that I'm really into right now. Like I tweeted the other day about like having I think I have the sauce. And then my friends who are a little bit naive are like, "Oh, give me the sauce." I'm like, "Well, it's for I might play it at Worlds, so no." I'm not like I know you mean well. I know you're not going to tell people, but I'm not letting you ladder rip it. Okay, so I think this is an Iron Thorns and for a draft game. And I don't know if I want to do Ursaluna or Iron Hands. I think Ursaluna is slightly better because then if Lugia goes like Steel Terra. Actually, no, we want Iron Hands because it's a lot of special bulk there. I think this is one of those games where we have to like suicide the Miraidon to try and take out the opponent's like threat. I kind of even want a Terra. How much does Electro Drift? Would we kill that Glamora? Or do we not Terra? Like I still share my teams with people who like I think can actually help me. No offense, but like I'm not like sharing it with non-Worlds players except for a very small prep group I have. I'm sorry, I'm not sharing it with other Worlds players. I'm sharing it with a couple of my friends who are like not Worlds players, but like I'm very picky about who I share it with. Okay, let's try this. Okay, withdrawing Rillaboom is good. We don't really actually super need the Electric Train. I don't see what we clicked Electro Drift into, but it'd be really funny if it was Lugia. I'm pretty sure it was into Glamora. Now, how much is that doing? Okay, it was Sash. That's interesting. Mortal Spin is fine. We don't really care. I don't really see how that does anything for my opponent, to be honest. I think Iron Thorns is a slightly safer switch in case of like Aeroblast. I don't think they're gonna Aeroblast, but they might like because they're expecting a switch in. Hydro Voice to pop multi-scale, to pop multi-scale. Iron Thorns also has more likely coverage for what it might Terra into, because it could be Steel Terra, but I don't really think we're gonna see more Steel Terras. I've been seeing more like normal or Dark Terra. If it's Dark Terra, it'll be really funny. Oh, it's Grass Terra. So chat, how do we feel about Pin Missile right now? Feeling good about Pin Missile, chat? we pop Multiscale, and it's Calm Mind. So I'm going to... We're going to Pin Missile the Lugia. And we're going to switch into Miraidon. Oh, it's leftovers. Okay, no we can't. Now we can't switch to Miraidon. That's fine. We'll have to Hyper Voice again and hope that we go before Iron Thorns. On my opponent's side, last game was the Lunala one, right? Yeah, so it's Fairy Terra Lunala. No, it's Trafigos. It was Stellar Terra Trafigos, and we still lost because it was Trafigos doing Trafigos things. Okay, so hopefully the Hyper... My Pokemon are Speed Tied, because usually it doesn't matter like this, but hopefully our Hyper Voice goes first. So that Pin Missile does full damage. I'm also hoping they switch Shurilla, expecting the Miraidon switch in. Okay, protect from Lugia. Opponent's really trying here. The good news about this being stall is it also makes it harder for them to stop what I'm trying to do. But this is going to be a long one, I think. Because they haven't done much damage to me back. The poison on Farigiraf's doing very, very little because of the grassy terrain. I think we're just going to go Pin Missile again. We're going to Pin Missile again. That thing's probably going to Wide Guard. So we're going to Psychic, then Pin Missile. So Lugia's got time. Hi, Duck! Okay, so Salt Cure from Garganacl, which we now know is slower than Iron Thorns. Okay, we got the Psychic to pop the shield. We're doing well. Playing my weird team on the ladder and having a lot of fun with it. Winning a lot of games against a lot of good players. But then we're also facing weird stuff like this. Because Lugia has Aeroblast. And they got the crit. That's incredibly annoying. Okay, if we survive like the poison and stuff this turn, we're gonna switch out. Oh, we lost that. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so now we know the whole team comp. And we know we're not super scared of this Lugia. Which is probably going to protect this turn. So we're gonna switch out Iron Thorns to reset the terrain. No, actually no. We want to force Rill out first. We're gonna Rock Blast and Close Combat, and we'll switch out Iron Hands next turn. Yeah, the protection's pretty obvious. If Garg has Protect, that's fine. Yeah, sure, Duck. I'll battle you. I'll battle you if you want. I won't use this team just because it's mostly for closed sheet, and you can already see what I'm doing with it. I will ask that you obviously leave the stream while we battle, but after this set, sure, I'll do a battle to you. You asked in a different stream, so I'll humor you. Okay, so what we do next depends on whether they send out Rilla or Glim. If they send out Rilla, we switch. We'll switch Iron Hands from Miraidon. If they send out Glamora, we'll. Actually, I think we switch Iron Hands regardless of which they send out. Because Iron Thorns should be able to take whatever the heck they throw. so that makes sense. That's Glamora. So we're gonna pin Missile Lugia because Iron Thorns can definitely take the Aeroblast. We're gonna switch in Miraidon. Lugia's Calm Mind, Protect, Aeroblast, so we just have to see what his last attack is. We gotta pray it's not Earth Power. Okay, so Mortal Spin, they're poisoning Iron Thorns. Big whoop, what do you want to do? You want to fight about it? It's got Recover. Okay, that's annoying. That's super, super annoying. But luckily we have the Terrain boost now, so I don't think Recover can put it back to full HP. Okay, that's 4 hits. Okay, so we're going to do this turn. Lugia's in a position where it's kind of forced to recover, which is really good for us. But what we're actually, since we now know it can't scratch Iron Thorns, we're actually going to pin missile the Glamora slot. Because here's the thing. The switch, I can see that switch coming a mile away. I can see that protect coming a mile away. So we're going to Volt Switch. And, yeah, we're going to Volt... Oh. Sure, they spiky shielded. Whatever. Oh, they double protected, so it didn't really matter. I think, honestly, though, we still play the exact same turn, because now we know the Lugia is not a threat. We've now established that the Lugia is not hurting me. And what we'll do is the next time we bring Miraidon in, we're actually going to taunt it. I suppose the Protect makes sense when they're trying to like stall out the poison and salt cure damage, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, we're going to do the same thing still, because if they don't switch to Rilla, then the pin missile just goes into Lugia instead. If they do switch into Rilla, Rilla dies. Yep, there we go. So we're in Iron Hands. Lugia shouldn't be able to do a whole lot of damage to either of my Pokemon. I guess +1 on Combine and hasn't been able to boost since. Yeah, I went for the Recover, so the Pin Missile should cleanly take out Rilla. Wow, that crit. Oh, it's Citrus Rilla. Interesting. I guess that's why they were so confident switching, but I think we still take it out. 3 more hits should take it out. Yeah. This Lugia also has to be very careful of how it attacks, because it only has 1 attack. And I should have been, I should have been counting Aeroblast. I have no idea. I think it's only used 2 though. Okay. We have 1 more safe attack with Iron Thorns, so we don't want to waste it. We're going to switch in. We're going to hard switch in Miraidon, and we're going to fake out Lugia. They're probably both going to protect, but Spiky Shield damages Iron Hands, so we would rather fake out Lugia. Glamora with the Earth power. Okay. Now we're kind of concerned. Okay, so bring in Iron Thorns. We had it, and we lost it. I don't think we have an out now. A lot of people tend to fall for the traps of these teams. Like you're probably looking at this like oh wow, it's so good, but it's really the problem is it's very RNG heavy. Okay, we're gonna pin Missile Glamora. We're gonna Rock Blast Glamora. Then we'll pin Missile Glamora and we'll Fire Punch Glamora, and we're hoping to get. God, I don't know. No, let's pin Missile Lugia and Fire Punch Lugia. I'm thinking Glamora is gonna Spiky Shield this turn. Okay, cool. If Lugia goes Aeroblast and Iron Hands, expecting the poison to take out Iron Thorns, then we... No, they just protected. Okay. And now they see that we have Fire Punch. We lost our surprise factor. Poison kills us, right? Yeah. That Aeroblast crit really hurt earlier. So we died to the poison on Farigiraf. Yeah, we don't have any outs. Yeah, sure thing, Duck. So I just ask that you be an honorable player and don't look at my screen because I don't really feel like... Oh, 1 second, I accidentally went on the ladder, so I'll just reset my game. I don't feel like having to cover stuff, so if we're playing just for fun, just be nice about it. I'm not gonna play this team so that there's some amount of surprise still. And if you could just mute the stream as well so I can still talk about like my line of play and stuff. I'm just gonna pull up one of my own rentals. Alright, Duck. I will be searching in a sec if you can still hear me. If you can't still hear me... If you can still hear me, mute yourself now. We'll do this, and then... The Smeargle moveset on that team is Wide Guard, Follow Me, Decorate, and Fake Out. And you can always use the paste command to see whatever team we're streaming with for today. Yep, that's Alright. Chat, you had to know this was coming. Anybody still around in chat had to know. To be fair, Matt Food, this isn't ladder. This is a viewer who has to battle me. And I think they were pretty explicit they had a Lugia team. Alright, we got Sableye and Lugia. Shy Bones, thank you so much for the follow. And that's 110 followers. We've met our follower goal. That's awesome. Sort of Sleep Powder. Remember to Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, Light Screen makes sense. Of course, no. Shy Bones, I really don't think Lugia is the move. I've just faced a couple on ladder today, and Duck here wanted to face me with Lugia. I didn't really have a team that I was like, oh yeah, this is a team that beats Lugia, so I've just sort of picked the first thing that came to mind. So we got the Sleep Powder on a Sableye. And if I'm correct, I didn't see, I don't think we saw Reflect. Primary Arena's pretty great. Can't really say I would judge Duck Creek for that. So we're gonna Sleep Powder Lugia. We're gonna try and get a Sleep Powder Lugia, and we're gonna Glacial Lance. I love Mimikyu. Mimikyu is definitely going to be on my stream at some point. I use Mimikyu for like the entirety of Gen 8 Restricted. Ghost Terra Lugia is interesting. And now we got a boost in the Calyrex, and we can kind of just go to town. So we're gonna Sleep Powder the Urshifu. We're gonna Terra the Calyrex so we don't die to Wicked Blow. That's valid, Duck, but there's a reason I like them. People say you shouldn't be running inaccurate moves, and for the most part, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, I like having those like contingency options. I like having the ability to have an option to win in situations where I can't. And like 314 speed sleep powder is definitely like an option. And 75% accuracy isn't the worst. Combining Lilligant and like Ursaluna as the like options on my Spam Sun team was what broke it open for me in Reg F, and that's how I qualified for Worlds. But thank you for the game, and I'm happy I had the time to do that. I said I was gonna stream till 5:30, but because we were a little disrupted there, I'm gonna go to 2 more games, then we'll probably call it a stream. Because like I said, I gotta get doing things at some point. Nope, not with this. Do 2 more streams with the Miraidon team, and then we'll call it a night. Or a day, I guess. Let's go Team Star again. Or I guess we'll go the Titan theme. Which I'm not really a fan of, but oh well. Alright. We've been pretty good into these so far. How much do we care about the Clefairy? Somewhere between not at all and entirely. Let's go Iron Thorns, Iron Hands. Classic, tried and true. Actually, no. Iron Thorns, Ursaluna. Ursaluna hasn't gotten enough love this stream. Alright, so Incineroar might have Taunt. It might not have Taunt. We don't really care. We're just gonna Electro Drift into... We're just gonna... do some Electro Drifting. Is there a Taunt? Because even if there's a Taunt, honestly, we can come back. Parting Shot on Incin? Sure. What's this? Rilla, okay. Okay, so we're probably gonna see like a Woodhammer from Rilla and like a Draining Kiss from Calyrex. We can definitely take a Woodhammer because of the seed. And I don't know if I want to tear it in case of Astral Barrage. I'm pretty convinced we can take a Woodhammer, so I'm just gonna Dazzling Gleam in case Calyrex is sashed. And we're gonna attempt to Volt Switch. Alright, we can't Volt Switch because we clicked an Electro Drift by mistake. In that case, we will Dazzling Gleam and Electro Drift, I guess, and just let Miraidon die. Withdrawing Calyrex is actually really fine for me. That's also really fine for me. That Clefairy's gonna take a hit. Clefairy is so good right now. I was a naysayer at first. did so little, oh my god. I think we're just gonna Psychic the Clefairy and hard switch to Ursaluna. I think we want to be able to maintain the fast terrain control still. Now that we've seen the whole team. There's the wood. Whoa, I was gonna say there's the wood hammer. That's not what we were expecting at all. It's clever opponent, I suppose. That's okay. No, we're fine. We're fine. No, we're fine. Because we got this. All we have to hope is that because my Pokemon are speed tied, we just have to hope that we get the outspeed. That there's either no follow me or that Farigiraf outspeeds. Oh, heal pulse. I think that's fine actually, because I think Pin Missile should still kill. Otherwise, we lose to the high horsepower, and then we just lose. Oh, that's sketchy. I think one of them needs to crit. Oh. And that's definitely gonna KO. Okay, but it doesn't mean we've lost. Yeah, true. But the problem is we have, actually, because we have Trick Room, they might, like, protect. Expecting on the slower, because it's, like, Miraidon. So I think we go, like, Dazzling Gleam and Electro Drift into the Rilla slot. They're probably going to switch an Incineroar. Yeah. Yeah, protect from Calyrex. No, I don't think it is. I think we still kind of lose. Unfortunately, but... Oh, maybe never mind. It depends on whether they switch. Yeah, that was much better than KOing. I was actually concerned about the KO. Calling these Calyrex can probably take this Electro Drift. If we get the kill though, we win. Oh, okay. No, it's gonna Draining Kiss. Or not? Does Incineroar kill the Farigiraf? Like, I don't think we win, but... Oh, they went for Taunt. Yo, chat. Chat. We might have it. Because... we're +1 defense, and we resist Rilla's moves. The Rilla has high horsepower, which means it probably doesn't have U-turn. I think it needs to crit U-turn to kill me. We can definitely take a wood hammer. They can't fake me out for like the healing, and yeah, no, I think we actually got it. No, that's huge. Yo, let's go. How is Miraidon Trick Room so good? Oh my god. That was so great. I love this team. I love streaming weird Trick Room teams. I love my very supportive chat. It's getting harder and harder to maintain my schedule. Yeah, for real. Vikram is a name that's familiar to me. I think I've placed this person before. Yeah, Titan, I know you're like the least supportive person around, of course. You're just an absolute jerk. So once again, I'm facing the conundrum of whether or not we want Miraidon, because like, we kind of want Miraidon, but we also kind of don't need it. I think earlier in the stream we faced this exact same kind of team, and overall Miraidon was helpful, I think. I know we did way more damage to Zamazenta than I expected. They lead Rilla, that's kind of annoying though. I'm gonna go for it. And I think this is what we brought last time, and I think it did fine, so we'll go for this. And then I think after this game, win or lose, I actually have to call it. I have to call it. I appreciate the subs and the people who watch, but that's not income. Not yet. One day, maybe. Yeah, Vikram is familiar. I don't know if I've only faced them on ladder or in limitless tournaments. It's hard for me to keep track sometime. But the name is definitely familiar. Okay, that's actually a pretty great start. That Ursh is probably gonna think. I work in warehousing, but due to some things going on in my personal life, I'm taking mental health leave. So I'm doing like just sort of gig work to make some other income and work. Tom, you missed a really fun stream. Oh, tell me in the DMs all about how that went. We beat Moxie on stream, so that was pretty cool. This one stream has had so many good games that I mean, Gert, you were here. Would you agree that for the video for this team, I could probably get all the footage from this one stream? I don't think I've had better games. Like, we've just been crushing people. It's just done so, like, I don't know, like, the Iron Thorns was like a random idea, because I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do Miraidon Trick Room, I might as well make use of the Cork Drive. Iron Thorns is slow, let's give it a try. But it's actually so crazy good. I've been shook at all the work Iron Thorns have put in on this stream. Okay, the Zemazent is kind of annoying. Oh no, I wouldn't use it like in a real tournament, for sure. I'm just messing around with it. Like, you know how I do my streams, Tom. I have like my stream team for the week. Lunala Wendy's. No, it's a Calyrex Wendy's. Mafu, that sounds terrible. Because if it's best of one open team sheet, it's so stressful. Like I won that MSS in Vancouver, but it wasn't easy, that's for sure. How much do you want to bet they body pressed Iron Thorns? Thunderbolt and Farigiraf, that makes sense. Ooh, that stings. Oh, that's helpful. Okay, so we're gonna Hyper Voice, and we're going to Dragon Tail. I really, really want them to attack Farigiraf. Okay, the paralysis didn't really matter. Body press and Farigiraf is fine, but now we're gonna Dragon Tail and force in Rilla. Because we're not dealing a lot of damage to Zamazenta with Iron Thorns anyway, and here's the thing. Now it loses its one Dauntless Shield boost for the game. So we got the Rilla is not unexpected. So we're gonna bring in I believe we brought Iron Hands, right? So yeah, we'll bring in Iron Hands, we'll fake out the Rilla, and if they don't switch Raging Bolt... Actually, who am I kidding? Of course we're gonna switch Raging Bolt. Let's just fake out and kill the Rilla. Or no. Actually, they might switch it back out to try and maintain terrain. So yeah, we'll fake out and Rock Blast. No switches, so now we can lock up the terrain. And we should be good. We should have a clear path to victory from here. Moxie was playing a really cool Reshiram team. It was like slightly concerning, but Reshiram happens to not be very good into this team. So we did a lot of work with like Iron Thorns just carried like it's been. So Zamazenta might protect. Rillaboom probably doesn't have protect, so we're gonna switch Miraidon in so that we can get another fake out. We're gonna pin missile Rillaboom, and the game should kind of just be done. Yeah, Rock Blast on this attack stat is crazy. Chill, I wouldn't go so far. Reshiram has a couple of benefits in the format still, and it saw some play in Sword and Shield. Like, it has Mold Breaker. That's a really useful thing. Like, it has it's named different, but it's literally Mold Breaker. Oh, that damage. Iron Thorns Supremacy. Did my opponent Terra yet? No. So I expect that it might be Grass Terra. So we're gonna Volt Switch, bring in Iron Hands, and we're gonna Pin Missile. Basically force them to pick their Terra, or pick their poison. If they're not Grass Terra, they basically lose. If they're Grass Terra, they have a chance at finding their way out of this, but not very likely. Okay, going Protect to lock me into a move. I don't think that actually changes anything on my part. His Volt Switch Pin Missile is still the play. Also, I'll tell you what, chat. If any of you really want me to see, if any of you would like to see me play another game, I will play another game in exchange for a sub. Just one sub. I don't plan on being the kind of person to shill often, but I want an excuse to keep playing. So if I get a sub, we'll keep playing. If we don't, we'll stop after this. There it is. Okay. And then we got to see the new gift sub animation for the first time. So thank you, Mapu. I mean, it's double resisted and +2 defense. What did you expect? Oh my god, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Big Bird. So typically you want to have Tycho Murder. Thank you so much for piping up and letting me know. Bird. So obviously you want stabs, but not always. You don't always need all your stabs. Like Calyrex Ice never really runs Psychic because you don't really need Psychic moves for anything. Like what do you need Psychic moves for? Versus like you want coverage, you want stab. And it also depends on like other factors. Say for Armor Rouge, picking between Armor Cannon and Heat Wave. I can't speak as much for building other teams. I don't usually build balanced teams. I just play. I know how to play them. I can play them at like at a high level. I just like balance, hyper offense, etc. I just prefer to play and build Trick Room. But Bird, you're not the first person to ask me. So like, if you think it would be something you'd be interested in, I have considered the possibility of doing like a video on how to build Trick Room, but it wouldn't be like out until maybe later in the summer because I have a bunch of other videos in the pipeline. But I might do a video where like, we go into the builder and just like, how do we build a Trick Room team from scratch? And like talk about like what we're trying to do with it, etc. Electros is kind of suffers from being a mixed attacker, and like that's so bad in VGC compared to like Smogon formats. Alright, we'll do one more game. And if you guys want to hold me hostage, I will, for every time there's one more game, if there's a sub, I'll do another. Because I'm greedy. Like, I love Electros. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, like, visually. But I think of literally every Gen 1 to 5 Pokemon, it did the dirtiest in the switch to 3D. Its Gen 5 sprite is really, it's very imposing looking. They gave it had the animation for being like a heavy Pokemon. Like when it comes out, oh, it's this team. It's the Himi Turner team. Yeah, but like Electros did so dirty in like the 3D department because in the sprite it looks big, it looks heavy. It even has like the thud animation when it comes out of its Pokeball. But then when they switched to 3D, they made this little freaking eel that like floats above the ground, and it's like so tiny. And I know that matches what his Pokedex entry always has been, but it's like, come on. Also, we're faster than like all this except for Ursh. To be fair, Mafu, that it's always been a swim in the air thing. The whole point is that about those fish is that they're eels that like swim in the air through like magnetism. Like that's sort of their spiel. But that's why it's so weird that they're like in the water in Gen 9. Like I guess whoever decided to do the environments like, oh, these Pokemon are fish, let's make them water Pokemon. Like so they're in the ocean when they literally don't swim in water. It bugs me so much about Gen 9. It's like actually one of my biggest like very minor pet peeves. So I'm not super concerned with a lot of this stuff. Let's go like Smeargle, Iron Thorns, Miraidon in the back to change terrain, and I guess for this team, Ursaluna. I think one of my favorite transitions to 3D is Kyogre, and I think Kyogre is one of the few Pokemon that actually did fine from this transition to like Gen 1 to 4 3D to Gen 6 plus 3D. Okay, so we're gonna Dragon Tail Ursaluna. Actually, no, let's Dragon Tail Lunala, because it's probably the Trick Room. I'm gonna decorate Iron Thorns. Actually, let's Terra just in case they attack. Yeah, Dragon Tail, Iron Thorns, and decorate. Like, for anybody who's played, like, Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Battle Revolution, a lot of the old like, Pokemon Stadium models were really derpy, and then for Gen 3 and 4, they made them, like, kind of as derpy for some of them. And then Gen 6, they made them, like, not... Okay, the Protect makes sense. So it's a good thing we didn't Dragon Tail that. Okay, well, Lunala's trying to Trick Room, and now we're going for the Dragon Tail. Any millennials in chat who watched Dragon Tales as a kid? Maybe when I throw this video together, I'll throw that song over there. Oh, this is just gonna get better and better, because Ursaluna's gonna, like, try to rip me apart with Facade. We're gonna Rock Blast the Armarouge, we're gonna follow me. Oh, this is gonna be so fun. Mafu, you definitely pick... Mafu, honestly, the fact that you paid for me to play one more game and it's an Armarouge team is really funny. Because I tested this team. If nobody remembers, this team won or like came really high up in like a Hemi Turner tour early in the Reg G format, like in April. And I thought it was really interesting. I was gonna actually, it was actually gonna be my first stream team when I was debating streaming then, and it was gonna be my first video where I play a team that's not my own. The problem is the team didn't really work out well for me. I found it kind of mediocre. And now we're kind of proving it on the stream. We're showing what like a better Trick Room team can do, and like a better Armarouge player who knows how to play around Armarouge's like shenanigans. So to follow me, probably take a hit from Lunala unless they try to Trick Room again. Oh, they went for the Meteor Beam. If they miss, it would be amazing. Yeah, that's it, Mafu. I wanted to feature this team on my channel at some point, so this is a really funny way to do it. Because there's like no hope for my opponent here. Armarouge is such a good Pokemon. It's my favorite Pokemon, and it's not just like competitive bias. It's such a cool guy. I talk about it all the time on the channel, but like my start into Gen 9 competitive and like how I decided I wanted to play Trick Room was because I found this shiny Zero Speed Armarouge, or shiny Zero Speed Charcadet, that was also marked. And I was like, oh wow, we gotta do this. Oh, not the crit. Not the crit. Now if they have Indeedee in the back, we're not gonna get Terrain. That's okay, we can just sort of rip that Ursaluna apart. Okay, I think we're fine though, because this Ursaluna probably isn't gonna have Earthquake. I don't think the Hemi Turner one had Earthquake. And even if it does, our Ursaluna can definitely take it. So we're gonna... Actually, we're gonna Protect with my Ursaluna, and we're gonna Taunt their Indeedee. Yeah. Because once we take out their Ursaluna, we don't care about anything. Like, their Indeedee's not gonna they're not gonna beat mine, so... I would make a joke about my Ursaluna being the better Ursaluna, but I actually really much prefer like the Hisuian Ursaluna. I think he looks cooler. I think he's a better Pokemon. I think Bloodmoon Ursaluna, they tried too hard to make him look edgy. I don't hate him, but I definitely prefer. Ooh. If they went Facade into my Ursaluna, that's kind of huge. Oh, they went for Earthquake. Today is Wednesday, yes. Okay, I'm gonna calc real quick. Or does anybody know off the top of their head if I can take the Earthquake from this Ursaluna? Or Facade? I feel like I can't. But they might Protect. so scared. Okay, one up Bloodmoon this turn, and if they protect, now I know how they think. Cool. We made the right call. Because this should KO with Life Orb. Yeah. GG's inferior Armor Rouge player. Matthew, you picked a good time to sub for an extra game. That's a great game to end the stream on. Unless if somebody wants to sub again. I will play a game for every sub. Better Trick Room team, let's go. Alright, so... Oh, this player just like really likes Armor Rouge too, that's pretty cool. If only there was a chat so I could say, hey, check out my Armor Rouge content. Alright, alright. So I think I'm gonna call it here. Like I've been saying. Honestly, even if somebody does sub, I really should stop. Let's see where we finished on the ladder games-wise. So we stopped at 3,000. That's a climb up from the start, and we're still very positive in win rate. Alright, that's good stuff. Let's, if there's anybody worth rating. Jody is streaming, so I'm going to return the favor from his big raid last week. He's got an ad break playing, so as soon as he's done the ad, I'm gonna do a raid. Okay. All right, let's go say hi to Soulsir and say thank you. We're gonna say thank you for him dropping a big raid on me last week. I rated the wrong person. Goddamn. Did I? I think I did. Well, we're just gonna end the stream there, I guess. Anyway, well, have a good night, everybody.